Hello students, so let's continue with our cipher techniques. So we have done with the substitution ciphers. So I hope everybody remembers the cipher definition now and they are pretty familiar with the way we are going to encrypt the text. So substitution cipher, we had said that a particular letter will be substituted or a particular letter is replaced by a letter, symbol, number or anything. So we will start with the transposition cipher. So transposition cipher is it is also called as a permutation cipher. Now, what is the biggest difference in this cipher, transposition and substitution? In the transposition cipher, the letters are rearranged. Okay, so we are not going to replace any of the letter. So transposition cipher hide the message by rearranging the letter order without altering the actual letters used. So it's a kind of a puzzle, or just jumble up those letters only. You can decide order freehand, that how are you going to jumble up your letters, and your encrypted message is ready. So if you see here, what will happen if I do only a rearrangement of a letter? It will keep the original frequency text as it is. So if I say that in the English language, as we are saying so far, E is the most common alphabet which is used. The is the most common word which is used. So when you are rearranging those letters, the frequency of E will not be changed. So any person who wants to find out what is the plain text will still have a certain uh, advantage over the uh, text, because he can write down how many times E has come, how many times T has come, and he can carry on the cryptanalysis attack. Of course, this is the only a basic definition, that the rearrangement of the letters. As we go ahead to increase the security, we will be going on adding certain things to it. So one such a cipher is rail-face cipher. So what are we doing in this particular cipher? We will be writing the message letters out diagonally, okay, over a number of rows, and then read this cipher row by row. Again we are doing the same thing. We will be writing the plain text letters with a lowercase and the cipher text letters with a capital. To encipher the message, so this is the message which is given to you, that is, meet me after the toga party. So this is a message. Okay, so this is a plain text which is given to you, and it is mentioned that rail fins of a depth 2. So what is this depth? So here you read the definition. Write the message letters out diagonally over a number of rows. So depth indicates how many rows you have to make. Okay, so you will be writing this message in 2 rows. So you have to write it diagonally, and you will be reading it row by row. So let us write the diagonally. So how are we writing? Meet me after the toga party is the plain text. So, and I have to write in terms of 2 rows. So I see the way I have written. I will come here. M-E here. Then my next letter is here. Then I am writing it here. Okay. So this you have to remember or find out what is the depth which is given to you. So because it is only mentioned the row as the depth as 2, so this is your first row, this is your second row. Suppose here the depth would have been 3, so here this E would have come here. Okay, so I hope everybody understood now the depth of 2 means what. So now this is the way we will be this is the procedure by which the plain text will be converted into an encrypted text. Now how are you going to read this message, or what will be my encrypted message? So encrypted message is written by reading of the cipher row by row. So when I'm reading, I'm going to read this as an entire sentence. So I will read it first row first, and then I will write it the second row. So my encrypted message is this, say written in a capital letter. So I will write MEMATRHTGPRY, and then the second row. So if you see here, if you know the techniques of transposition cipher, then you can work on this. If you don't know, or you just simply see this as a cipher text, then it will be a bit difficult to find out what is the plain text. Now row transposition cipher. So we are moving ahead with the for the complex transposition, because I told you, even if it sounds simple that we are rearranging the letter, we have to make sure that the attacker or a hacker is not able to find out my plain text. So I will find out a certain ways in which I can increase the complexity. So here, write a letter of a message out in a rows or a specified number of columns. Okay, so here what has been mentioned, here the columns will be mentioned. Then reorder the columns according to some key before reading of the rows. So here also we are going to read the message by row to convert it into a ciphertext, but we will be using it with some key. So plain text is just written in terms of column. So suppose now in this case 1 2 3 4 5 sorry 1 3 6 7. So number of columns has been specified 6. So what will happen, you don't have to give the rows. I will write this message row by row in terms of 7 columns. So what is the message, can you read it now? It is attack postponed until 2 a.m. Now see this XYZ letter. Because the column number has been specified, you have to fill the remaining spaces by any arbitrary alphabet. So you can take XYZ, you can take ABC, any arbitrary letter will do. Okay. So but you have to complete this matrix of 7 columns. Now the key has been mentioned as 3 4 2 1 5 6 7. See, sometimes what will happen, the plain text will be given to you and only the key will be given to you. So here you have to read which is the largest number, what is the maximum number. So if the maximum number indicates the number of columns, so when I read this key it says 7, so I know the plain text has to be written in 7 columns. Suppose the maximum number would have been 5, then I would have written only up to this, and this letters would have gone down. Okay, so this indicates the maximum number of column. You have to find out what is the maximum number, that will indicate the number of column. Okay, now how do we encrypt? So it says the first number is 3, so it says that your third column should be written first. Okay, so you will write the third column letter first. So your third column is nothing but T T N A. So see here, so this is your third column. Okay, then your fourth column, so your 1 2 3 4, so this is your fourth column. So this is your fourth column. Okay, so this is the way you have to write. So you can arrange it according to a columns and you can write it those columns here. So this has increased the complexity because key can be unnumbered. Here your key will be always secret even if the algorithm is public. Now let's see how to encrypt as well as decrypt. Again the same message has been taken. Okay, at enemy attacks tonight. So now this, if you see this Z, it is added extra. So this is the key which is given to us, 31452. So when I see the key, I know the maximum number of columns will be 5. So the message has been written in terms of 5 columns, and wherever the matrix was incomplete, any arbitrary letter has been added. So letter has been added as Z. Now third column first. So here what is the extra thing? You are writing this message again. Okay, so you have written this matrix again. So you have written third column first, first column second, and then while reading you are reading column by column. Okay, I think in the previous slide it is mentioned as read by rows because it is the same in the rail transposition cipher, but here in this case you are reading column by column. So you are reading this column, you will transmit this, and we are saying that only the encrypted key is transmitted to the receiver also. So when I have written, I will write this also as column by column. See here, the message has been written as column by column. Now I have to find out key for decryption because this is the key which will be available at the receiver. So in this case what has to be done, you will be writing a key or you will be finding out a key. See, this is the key which is given to you. What is the position of first number in the key? what is the position of first number in the key. So I will write the first is at the second position, so the first key is second. What is the position of second in the entire key? So I'm going for 1 2 3 4 5. So I will see what is the position of second in this entire key. The position is fifth. What is the position of 3 in the key? What is the position of 4 in the key? And what is the position of 5 in the key? Now this becomes my new key. So once I arrange the column I arrange the letters column by column, I will rearrange this entire thing according to this key. Okay, so in this case what will happen? The second column, see what is this, is second. So second column will come and sit at first. Fifth column will come and sit at the second position. First column will sit at third position. Third column will sit at fourth position. And when you rearrange this letter, you can read it row by row. That will be your message. So this is the way the message is encrypted and decrypted. Now what is important here, when you are writing a cipher text, you are going to read column by column. When you are writing a plain text, you are going to read row by row. So these things you have to keep it in mind, and then only you will be able to find the plain text back. Now the steganography, I hope you have seen my one animated video regarding this, what is a steganography. Alternative to encryption, yes, if you are only interested in protecting your message, you can go for a steganography. It has added advantage that it hides the existence of message also. See, when I am sending a cipher text over a transmission line, by looking at cipher text, I know that it is carrying a secret message. It is one kind of a protected message. Nobody should be able to read it. Okay, here the steganography says that nobody will come to know that you are sending a message. So probably the message can be a plain text, but the way it is hidden, that technique is called as a steganography. Whereas in the encryption, you will never send a plain text as it is. You are always coding that plain text. You are always trying to represent it any other form. So using only a subset of letters or words in a longer message marked in some way, hiding the LSB in a graphic image or a sound file. Now what does it mean? Suppose when I say that I want to transmit a message or I want to transmit an image in a text. So I have a certain text written here, and then I have a small photograph which I want to send. So I will convert this into a binary. Okay, and the LSB of this will be sent here. So what will be happen, or suppose this one big image is there and I have a small image. So what I'll be doing, I will convert this image into a binary. So here I have all LSB. So normally your LSB is nothing but a least significant bit. So what I will be doing, I'll replace all this LSB with a new image. Okay, I will hide this image into LSB of this bigger image. Okay, that can be done. It has a drawback because sometimes it becomes high overhead to hide relatively few info bits. That can be possible. Now this one particular famous paragraph has been shown on your screen. You can take your time to read this para. It's a one classic example of steganography, where if we as a layman, if we read this message, it is some kind of a letter sent to a particular university, and they are talking about some examination form, some question answer pattern. So here we only the person who knows that message has been hidden and how to read will be able to find out. So I'll just read in a mind so that you get time to read this. So let's see, let me tell you, because you can pause and read. So here, so check the last words which is written in this particular para. Try to find out whether it conveys any secret message. So it says your package ready Friday 21st, room 3. Please destroy this immediately. So the person who knows that they are supposed to read like this can read this final words. Other steganography techniques, selected letters of printed or typewritten text are overwritten in pencil. Yes. So when you write anything on the printed paper or a typed paper with a pencil, until unless you uh, keep that paper or hold that paper at an angle, you will not be able to read what is written with the pencil. Same thing can happen with invisible ink. A number of substances can be used for writing, but leaves no visible trace until heat or some chemical is applied to the paper. So the very famous things are like lemon juice, onion juice. If you write with those inks or using these material, until unless you read those paper under the light or under the keeping the candle below that paper, you will not be able to find out what is the message. Pin punctures or small pin punctures on a selected letters are ordinarily not visible unless the paper is held up in a front of light. Or typewriter correction ribbon used between the lines typed with a black ribbon. The results of typing with correction tape are visible only under a strong light. So these are nothing but few techniques which are used for steganography. Steganography is not there in our syllabus for a detailed study, but whenever we talk about cryptography, the question about steganography is about to come. So you have to remember the basic difference. Encrypted message is known to everybody. Everybody can see the message has been encrypted. So and the steganography, you are trying to hide the message from everybody. You are not changing your message, whether as in encryption or in the cryptography. You are processing that message, you are working on that message, you are trying to find out the techniques by which this particular message can be encoded. Whereas in the steganography, you are not doing anything with the message, you are trying to find out how to hide the message. So I hope these two things are very clear to you. So you have to keep on doing certain more problems so that you get a hold of all these cipher techniques. Okay, thank you.